just get covered. You got that gaze.
One day, baby, we'll be old. So baby, we'll be old and think of all the stories that we could have told.
So I'm Nicole. I'm from Malaysia. I've been here for almost 3 years now. I'm a full-time international student in Hong Kong Polytechnic University and majoring in hotel management. And currently I'm doing an internship in Hotel Icon, which is a hotel owned by Hong Kong Polytechnic University. So yeah, that's about me.
And so you were in Malaysia, and what makes you choose Hong Kong?
Yeah, I was in Malaysia like for my almost the entire life. I did go to New Zealand for a few months before I come to Hong Kong, and that was for a working holiday. And then I'm here for university. Like, why would I choose Hong Kong? Like, many people ask me about that. Like, one main reason I would say, like being honest, would be they offer me a full scholarship.
So why Hong Kong?
Okay. Yeah, I was in Malaysia my entire life, and then I went to New Zealand for a working holiday for a few months, and I come here to Hong Kong for my university just by myself. Many people asked me before why Hong Kong, and then I would say, being honest, one of the main reasons would be because they offer me a full scholarship, and I always want to study abroad. But then I know I can't really afford to pay the tuition fee, living expenses, and everything else by myself. So I need a scholarship. So that was one of the reasons. And also because Hong Kong Polytechnic University, their hotel school is like ranking like one of the best in Asia. So why not? And then I haven't been to Hong Kong, and this is a good chance to explore.
So before you decide to come over here to study, you never came here to see what the city looked like? And
the first day I'm here, then it's like, yeah, I have to stay here. Like, it's my life. Like,
yeah,
it was a big surprise.
So it was love at first sight when you saw the place?
It was crazy, but I'm glad like my parents were with me. The first day we were here, and it was just crazy. Like, everyone started speaking Cantonese like during our daily life. I mean, I understand Cantonese like luckily for me, but then I have never really spoken Cantonese at all.
Okay.
So it was like, okay, I have to start like, I mean, and one of the things that I didn't really like at the beginning was like because my mother tongue is Mandarin. So when I start speaking in Mandarin to people, like sometimes when I had a hard time speaking Cantonese, then I speak Mandarin. Then people would tend to be like not so nice, like because of Hong Kong and the mainland China issue. So and then slowly I pick it up, and then I mean now like even if I'm speaking Cantonese, people still could tell like, oh, you're not from Hong Kong.
Okay.
But I mean I'm getting better. Like, okay.
And what about English? I mean, is this a language you use every day in the daily life? So
no. Like English as well. It's just like I mean, I'm more familiar with English than Cantonese, but because I learned in school, and then school forcing us to speak it. But then in my family, we don't really speak English at all. Like just in school. After school, then that's it. Unless I have friends that don't speak Mandarin, and I have to speak like.
But here in Hong Kong, with people, you mostly talk Cantonese?
Like in Hong Kong, because I hang out a lot, I'm like international student, so I hang out a lot with exchange students and like students from other countries, and so that's the chance that I have the chance to speak English. Or else, I mean, at the beginning my classmate would be like really nice, and then they saw that like I had a hard time speaking Cantonese, then they would say, oh, maybe you can speak English or Mandarin, like, it's up to you. But then with my Malaysian friends, like we still speak Mandarin most of the time.
And what do you think about the locals' proficiency in English?
Oh wow, I mean, in general they have their like accent thing, and then like, and they kind of like refuse to speak it, even if they can. They kind of refuse. They would rather not speaking it. Like if they know like you speak English, maybe they will try to avoid you rather than trying their effort to speak to you.
Okay.
There are also some Hong Kong local people that speak like perfect and really good English with maybe British accents or American accents. But
Okay.
like, yeah.
And do you think that the fact that you can understand Cantonese or Mandarin, did it help you in looking for a job, or do you think that for somebody who just speaks English, it's going to be more difficult in Hong Kong?
In some ways, I would say yes, because like daily life, you still can't really, unless you just go to those places like with people speaking English all the time. But I would say those places are usually will be more expensive because local places are usually with just Cantonese speaking people and then restaurant with just Chinese menu. So for people that not able to speak and understand Cantonese, I would say in some ways there are some difficulty for them to live here, and not everyone is being helpful all the time, right? If you're not able to understand Cantonese.
Yeah.
One day, baby, we'll be old, so baby, we.
So you've been here for how long now?
Almost 3 years. In coming August will be 3 years.
Okay, and you're gonna stay here for how long?
And I have another year to go for my final year in university, and then I will probably stay here to work for a few years because for myself, I'm from Malaysia. It's like, or maybe for everyone else, it's not easy just go to any other country just to get a working visa or permit. And for me myself, I don't really have a plan, like at least for now, to go back to Malaysia to work. So I want to go elsewhere, but it's not easy to just go like that after graduating from university.
Yeah.
And I have a chance to stay here in Hong Kong, so I will probably stay here for a few more years, getting some experience, and then I'll see where I can move next.
One day, baby, we'll be old, so baby, we.
For my work now, this is, I would say, many of my classmates and friends back home or family will think that this is kind of a waste of time because I'm doing an internship for a year, which is not like a mandatory thing, and then I have to postpone a year of delay for my graduations. But then I think so far I still don't think this is a wrong decision, because for the whole program is for 11 months to be precise. For the first 4 months I get to go for a rotation within the hotel. So since I'm really new in this industry, I don't have much experience, so I think it's actually good for me to go for rotation, to get to see. I go to housekeeping, I have go to front office, sales, engineering department, and then human resources.
That gives you great insights in the industry.
Yes,
so,
yeah. I get to like work with the senior management. Like I sit in interview with some people that want to work in our hotel, and then I work with the.
So do you think in terms of work perspectives, do you think that Hong Kong offers more opportunity to get responsibilities or to get the chance to do more tasks than if you were in another country?
This one I'm not really sure because like before I'm here I was just in Malaysia for high school and then in New Zealand for working holiday. So I'm not really sure about the hotel industry or working opportunity elsewhere. But then for so far I think the responsibility that I get and the opportunity that I get, I think it's quite enough.
Yeah. So you're happy with your trucks?
Yes.
So far so good.
Yeah, so far so good. And but then I mean like I'm kind of like I have enough now that I need a break now.
Oh, of course.
One day, baby, we'll be old, so baby, we.
Advantage is I'm able to meet a lot of different people from different countries. That's the good thing in Hong Kong. It's like similar to Singapore. You could just meet people from everywhere from the world. Like that's one point I'm really glad I'm here. And also comparing here in Hong Kong and to China or Taiwan, they speak more English, and they see English as a important issue more than in China or in Thailand. The disadvantage, I would say, Hong Kong is really small and it's really packed. If you are people that don't really like you know, you need space and then then this is not really a place. But I mean, I wouldn't want to live here for my whole life. I mean, but this is a good place to like, when you're young, like, you know, the energy here is like meeting people and then working life, and then it's pretty good to start off life abroad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the one that I have mentioned just now, like about Mandarin speaking, because they would assume me like I'm from mainland China. So because Hong Kong people, like, there are some people that don't like.
So the integration is a bit hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Alright.
But apart from that, like, and also a problem I found out, not a problem or any, I don't know, like, it's like
Different,
there are some people that don't know where is Malaysia.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, like there will be Malaysia, okay, and then will be like, do you know where is it? Not really. And then I would say like, you know, Singapore, look, it's right over Singapore. And then the person, like one time the person would say like, oh, I thought Thailand is right above Singapore. What do I like best in Hong Kong? For myself, because like staying in a place with too many people for a long time. So usually for my leisure time, I would like go like to somewhere with less people. Like it's good that to go for like beach or hiking, like just without people. Like it's not like really I'm anti-social people. It's just that sometimes I just need some like away from people, like too many people around me. Like,
Too much noise.
Yes, I would say yes, because actually same case. I have a cousin. She recently also applying for university. So one of the choice is in Hong Kong, and another one is in Singapore. Like I advised and recommended her to come to Hong Kong rather than Singapore.
Why?
I mean, like, if you want to study abroad, you want to go to explore the world, you have to go further, like, from home. Don't stay too close.
Yeah.
Because I know if she stay in Singapore, she will go back home, like, frequently. It's easier to go back home from there than in Hong Kong. So, like, because I really think, like, I always tell people, it's good to see difference, like, no matter it's good thing or bad thing, it's good to see no matter what, like, if it's bad, then you know, like, oh, there's something, like, in a world like this that is not it, and it's good then you learn from it, and you like it, you go more often, or you do more often. So it's good always to see and explore, like, to go further from where you are. Stay away from your comfort zone, like, you learn more and then you see more. I think that's what I really want. I always will tell people. Oh, this of course. In Malaysia, everything is so cheap compared to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
So when I first came here, like, yeah, this is another issue. Everything is so expensive. If I try to convert back to like the currency ringgit back at home, so everything is so expensive. I wouldn't like, oh my god, this is too expensive. I'm not gonna buy it. No. So at the beginning, I'm just like, okay, I was like not spending too much, like try to cook on my own, like to save money, not eating out too much.
Yeah.
Like everything here is way more expensive. But then apart from like, if you say comparing cost of living, I would say like the security here compared back home is also much better. So yeah, it's good, actually good to stay here, like, and then after a while, like, you just get used to it, like. Yeah, I stay in student halls in the university.
Okay.
Which is really bad, I would say.
Yeah.
Because I have to share room with another girl and then share the bathroom with the next door. So this is the thing I still don't like even after 3 years now, because since I was like really young, I have my own room back at home, like because housing is cheaper at home, so everyone could get lots of space. And then here you get a tiny space with,
You get to share.
yeah, like, and then you have to share and you pay a lot more. So that's the thing. Like,
So how big it is, and if it's okay, how much you pay for the room?
yeah, sure. I mean, if you comparing the students hall and the housing in Hong Kong outside, that is super cheap.
But
I
it's pretty
pay-
tiny.
Yeah, I pay around 1,200 Hong Kong dollars.
It's about
for a month.
$100 US.
Yeah.
for a month. So, but then that doesn't include the not including the aircon. Everything else is included.
Oh yeah. So you pay the aircon
You
on top.
have to pay separately for the aircon.
And you use the aircon?
Yes, in summer you have to. You can't stand living in the tiny space without aircon
Of
and
course,
with lots
yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah.
So what would be your advice in terms of budget for a student in Hong Kong? How much you think is needed?
How much? Okay. It's actually very much depends. Like at the beginning, for me, because I got living expenses as well from the school, so they pay me around maybe 3,000. Yeah, around 3,000 per month for just expenses,
Yeah.
like for eating and then buying stuff and other. For 3,000, I could manage like to survive like in Hong Kong, because at the beginning you just trying not to spend too much, not going out shopping, not out here, no. And then now I get, which is considered quite high for internship, I get around like 8,000 per month,
Okay.
and I barely save up a lot.
Yeah.
Because like after a few years getting
You go
used to-
out, you
yeah.
spend,
Yeah,
and then shop.
And
transportation
then
goes.
going to trip like abroad, like to Vietnam.
So do you travel a lot?
Yeah. It's kind of like a tradition for the university students to go for a short trip during the break, like summer holidays or winter break. Recently, I've just been to Vietnam and last semester to Philippines. But for this year, I actually consider as quite not so much. I used to travel more like in like few years.
But you would say that Hong Kong is a good place to travel, to start traveling from?
Yes, I think so. But the thing is, traveling and departing from Hong Kong airport, you pay like a higher tax.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
So flights are not so cheap?
Sometimes you could get like some promotion, like really
Yes.
good deals, but
You need to be flexible.
yes, you have to be flexible with the dates and then booking in advance, like not like spontaneous,
Yeah.
not usually. But then like you could get a lot of direct flights, or I mean, even though I'm not direct flight, you could like depart from Hong Kong to go to many different places like easily. I am considered as lucky because I work 5 days a week, which is really normal for maybe everyone else or for people in other countries.
Yeah.
But in Hong Kong, 5 days a week for a hotel is like really lucky. And for a day, if I'm in the administration department, then I work for 9 hours, including an hour for lunch.
Uh-huh.
But if I'm in operation, which is like front office, concierge, and even like, then I have to work for 10 hours a day, including an hour for break as well.
Okay.
So
So
I
you're
think
doing close to 50 hours per week or
Yeah.
45 hours per week?
45 to 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And working on weekends sometimes
Yes.
and night shifts as well?
Yeah, I do have night shift, like starting from 2 in the afternoon until 12 at
Uh-huh.
night. So yeah, and also for hotel people like us, even if typhoon number 8, we have to go to work.
Still. Hotel never closed.
No.
So baby, we'll be old and think about the stories that we could have told.